Picture a remote riverbank in the Amazon, a boundary marked in the forest, and suddenly a nation changes direction. What does Brazil's decision to recognize the Munduruku people's land mean for the future of the rainforest and indigenous rights?
Today is May 30th, 2025. The Brazilian government has officially recognized Sare Moibu, the ancestral territory of the Munduruku people in Para. That's 178,000 hectares along the Tapajós River, now protected under indigenous land status. But why did it take so long for this recognition?
This has been a struggle going back decades. The Munduruku have faced pushback from agribusiness, mining companies, and developers. Their activism hasn't just happened in courtrooms. It's included direct action, like blockading the Trans-Amazonian Highway. And the territory itself is more than just a home. It's a biodiversity hotspot. So the stakes here are both cultural and ecological.
And the timing matters. This recognition came right after a standoff in Brasilia, didn't it? Munduruku leaders were meeting with federal officials, pushing for the government to uphold constitutional rights and international standards on consultation.
Yes, exactly. Their protests lined up with attempts in Congress to limit new land demarcations, specifically Federal Law 14701 from last year. That law could open indigenous lands to mining and other industries. The Munduruku and other groups have really fought back, insisting on their right to free, prior, and informed consent. That's grounded in international law, not just local policy.
So, what does this recognition actually change on the ground for the Munduruku? Does the legal status stop illegal logging and mining?
It's a huge milestone, but enforcement is the next hurdle. The Ministry of Justice's declaration means FUNAI, the indigenous agency, has to mark the boundaries and eventually remove illegal occupants. But it's not immediate. The president still has to ratify the process before invaders can be legally removed. In the meantime, the Munduruku are continuing their own monitoring and self-demarcation efforts.
And there's still political resistance. Even with the law now on their side, the Munduruku are up against powerful economic players. Is there a concrete plan for enforcement from the authorities?
Coordination is supposed to be central. FUNAI, federal police, and environmental agencies are meant to work together, but resources and political commitment are still uncertain. The Munduruku aren't just waiting. They're actively documenting illegal activities and pressing for stronger government action. Let me ask, why has indigenous-led monitoring been so effective in the Amazon?
There's a clear link. Indigenous stewardship tends to mean less deforestation and more biodiversity. Studies consistently support this. On a global level, protecting indigenous lands is one of the strongest strategies for preserving rainforests and addressing climate change.
That's why international organizations, Greenpeace, WWF, and others have been working alongside the Munduruku. Their involvement connects these local efforts to the global climate movement. Do you think this kind of recognition could set an example for other indigenous groups in Brazil?
It could. The Munduruku's combination of legal action, protest, and NGO partnerships might become a model. But a lot depends on Brazil's broader politics. Will other groups face the same obstacles, or could this mark a turning point?
And there's the bigger question. Can Brazil really balance economic growth with environmental protection and indigenous rights? The Amazon faces ongoing threats from infrastructure and extraction. Recognizing Sare Moibu is hopeful, but the fight continues.
There's a lot at stake, and the world is watching. As the Munduruku and their allies push for enforcement, their struggle is about more than land. It's about the Amazon's future, climate stability, and indigenous sovereignty.
So what now? Will the government follow through, or will enforcement lag? And could the Munduruku's win motivate similar victories elsewhere?
We'll keep tracking this story. Thanks for joining us as we dug into the details behind this important decision and the challenges still to come.
That's all for today's episode. Thank you for listening. This episode was produced by mynews.studio. Try it out for free.